Thank you so much. Promise, like, give me just a few more days and I will sort this issue out and will be able to record on my own. Thank you. So, well, wonderful. We had the first round of part one. Now, I'd like to talk a bit more about one interesting question type. So you probably remember that recently we talked about frequency questions, right? In the previous lesson, we discussed how to answer questions about frequency, right? Who remembers this part? I'm not sure who was absent and who was present. So do you remember us talking about frequency?
That we did.
Yes, you do. Okay, wonderful. So probably if somebody doesn't remember, you were absent. So today, now to review this topic, I'm going to ask you a few frequency questions from the forecast. So the most actual IELTS questions that students are being asked even right now, because right now, maybe in some countries right now, because IELTS test usually take place in the morning, right? So, basically, let me also, this time I will ask you questions from part three, not from part one. Frequency questions often also are also often in part three, not only in part one. So let's start. In what way do you often relax when you are busy? In what way do you often relax when you are busy? How do you often relax? Basically, to paraphrase it. Sophie, can I ask you, please? Use one of the expressions from the slide.
Yes, I usually use my time on many occasions, like walking out, go out for a walk to uh, get some fresh air and feel more relaxed. And if I stay at the home, I uh, um, listen to music
Mm-hmm.
or just or sometimes just enjoy my quiet time.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay. All right, no need to continue. Short answers, okay, because I'm going to ask you one more question right away. Who do you think would make changes to their lives more often? Young people or old people? I'm going to send this question in the chat for everyone so that you could see to understand it better. Again, a typical part three question is when you compare different groups of people. And in this question, you are asked to compare young people and old people. The question is is, who makes changes in their lives more often? Like all kinds of changes, change in jobs, change in people, partners, like hobbies, all kinds of changes. Who do you think would make changes more often? Young people or old people? Please, when you are asked such questions, don't think of reasons, okay? Because if you think very hard about reasons, it will kill your fluency. Instead, paraphrase. So I believe the former one, or the young people, right? Look at the question. So first, have young people. So the former. If we refer to the first one, we use the former. It is for young people, right? If you have a question where there are two words, for example, boys and girls, tea or coffee, you use the word former for the first word. In this case, young people is the first word, right? So the former, and if you want to paraphrase
the latter, the
the
later.
other, the latter, not later, please. Latter, latter, the latter. The former, the latter.
Latter.
The
Well,
former, the latter.
my
Mhm.
uh, perspective, the formers seem easier to um, mm,
Let's
the
say that they do
former
it more frequently. They
uh,
do it.
former do more frequently,
Mhm.
um,
While the latter, while,
while
mhm,
while the latter um,
seldom, if ever, or once in a blue moon.
happen.
Choose
The
one.
cell the why the latter uh, is
Seldom, if ever.
what is want in a blue moon.
Okay, let's say
Uh,
while the latter make changes or change their lives once in a blue moon. Repeat.
why the latter change their life one is a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon. Wonderful. So the entire
In
answer. Look, from my perspective, the former find it easier to do this, so it happens more frequently, while the latter change their lives only once in a blue moon. Take a look. I didn't think very hard about reasons, and that's why I was fluent, right? Because my the biggest problem of all students I have is that they try very hard in part three to give reasons, right? Because they think that they always need to say why. Well, it's good if you can, but sometimes questions are too difficult. So it's almost impossible to explain. Here, okay, relatively easy, right? You say that old people are reluctant to change anything because they are afraid. Okay, you can think of reasons here, but it takes a lot of time, right? You can just compare, you use good structures, good grammar, and a lot of advanced vocabulary, like once in a blue moon, frequently, and you already have a perfectly developed answer. So it isn't always necessary to give reasons, especially if it's very hard to do, right? In this case, well, relatively easy, but there are many other part three questions where giving reasons is very complicated, right? So you can always compare. You can always compare if question implies that you should do so. Okay, great, Sophie. Thank you. Now, Ms. Mai, what do old people often do in their daily lives? What do old people often do in their daily lives?
Uh, Old people has a lot of time, so they
Have, please
um
have.
have
Mhm.
yeah. Old people have lots of free time, so they um so as a rule they spend time to do exercise and watch movie.
Okay. All right. And which adverbs of frequency did you use? They frequently, they watch movies on many occasions, or they occasionally.
As a rule.
As a rule. Okay. You used as a rule, they watch movies. Okay. Well, pretty good. Well done. Okay. Ms. Mai, one more question for you. Who would like to take photos more often? It's like the most popular question now in part three. Who would like to take photos more often? Young people or old people?
Um, in my opinion, I think the former frequently take photo um, because they really have beautiful photo and sometimes post in the social media.
Mhm. Okay, great. While talk about old people.
Can you repeat?
Look, you talked about young people. Okay, now I want you to compare. Now I want you to talk
Yes,
about old people too, right?
yes. Mm, uh, in my opinion, um, I think the farmer frequently take a photo, while uh, the latter seldom. The latter is on once in a blue moon take photo because they are not good at technology.
Okay, perfect. Okay, they seldom, if ever, do this because they are often, they're occasionally are not really talented at using technology. Okay, great. Thank you, Ms. Mai. Now, Daisy, your turn.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Again, old and young people. I think every part 3 topic this time has got questions about young and old people. Like there are 35 topics for part 3 in the forecast, and I think like around 20 of them ask you to compare young and old people.
Yes.
It's quite a lot. So
Mm.
why do young people change things more often than old people? A very similar question, right? Change things in this time, in this case, means buy new things. Buy new things. Not like change life. It's about new things, about replacing things, about buying new things. So why do young people change things more often?
In my opinion, young people um, normally normally change. Normally, they want change a new item and and uh, they they enjoy sharing moments on social media, um, while um, other people um,
Are not really keen on doing this, are not really interested in doing this.
uh, other people are not really keen on doing this.
Not
Are
you need to
not.
say are not really keen on doing this. Great, perfect answer. Well done. That's exactly what I wanted to hear from you. Great. Okay, and now Miss Chan, for you.
Yes, teacher.
Part 1. How often do you eat chocolate? How often do you eat chocolate?
Part one. Part one.
Yeah, this is part 1. Yeah. How often do you eat chocolate?
Um, uh, um, um, uh, occasionally I eat chocolate when I feel stressed or um, uh, I want to when I feel stressed uh, or feel more pressure. Because it helped me to relax and uh, comfortable.
Feel, please. Feel
Feel
comfortable. You can't just say comfortable. Relax and comfortable. No. It helps me relax and feel comfortable.
comfortable.
Mhm.
Yes.
Helps me relax and feel comfortable. Okay. Well done. Fair enough. That's great. Agreed. Okay. One more question. So, do you often spend time with teenagers? Do you often spend time with teenagers?
Yes, I do. My son is my son is a teenager, so I spend more time for him
With,
for
with him, with him,
with him
with
with
him.
him. Yes, I uh, um I talk I talk with him and share more um, experience when I was a teenager for him.
For him? Why for?
When I was teenager,
When I was a teenager.
Yes, I share more experience. I share more experience.
From your teenagehood. From your teenagehood.
Yeah.
Okay. So you should,
From
from my teenagehood or from my teenage years. So I share my experience with, again, with. Spend time with, right? Share with, not share for and not spend time for, right? It's always with in this case, right? Share experiences with him, spend time with him. Okay?
spend time.
All right.
Yeah.
Well done. Now let's continue and talk about another question type today. Now I'd like to talk to you about, well, it would make sense to talk about comparison more, but I'd like to talk about it next time so that we can review comparison again, right? Because today we reviewed frequency and I introduced you a little bit of information about comparison. Next time, we'll talk more about comparison. But today, we'll discuss advantages and disadvantages questions. So many questions in part 3, and sometimes even in part 2, as you can see on the slide, they want you to talk about advantages and disadvantages. What is important about it? First of all, if you are asked directly to talk about advantages and disadvantages, always paraphrase advantages and disadvantages. What can we say instead? What can we say instead of advantages and disadvantages? For example, advantages. Give me some synonyms for advantages. Everyone, a question for all of you. What is the synonym for the word advantages?
Benefit.
Well done. Great. Benefits, right? We say benefits, okay? How about the word disadvantages? Disadvantages.
Benefit. Challenges.
Challenges, no, not really. I'm sorry. Maybe in some context, but most of the time it is too different in meaning.
Bad points.
Bad points. Okay, exactly. So benefits like good points. Sorry. Good
Bad
points.
points.
Bad points. Good points, bad points. Good points, bad points. Okay. Benefits and, well, disadvantages, drawbacks. Say it with me. Drawbacks. Drawbacks. Okay. Also, positive aspect, negative aspect. Positive aspect and negative aspect. Negative. Positive, negative aspect. So maybe it's better to do it like that. Positive aspect, negative aspect. Okay? Good points, bad points, benefits and drawbacks. So, if you are asked, what are the advantages of learning English? You shouldn't say, the advantages of learning English are. Never do this. Always paraphrase the question. So instead of the advantages of learning English are, we say, well, one of the main benefits of it is that you can find a better job. This is a paraphrase. I didn't say learning English and I didn't say advantages, right? So I demonstrated that I have a wide range of vocabulary, right? If I just say, if my examiner asks me, oh, well, what are the advantages of learning English? And I say, the advantages of learning English are, I simply repeat what he said, right? And we don't really get new points for repetitions, right? It is simple to repeat, yeah, but it doesn't bring you points. It takes points from you, right? So don't really fall for this easy trick, please. Never, never repeat your examiner's question, right? This is what you shouldn't do. Okay? Now you know how to paraphrase, but how about structures? What if you asked about both advantages and disadvantages? You can say, although or even though, and after that, say about one bad point. For example, what is a bad point about learning English? It takes a lot of time, right? It's challenging, maybe expensive, right? Okay, well, some people are afraid to speak a new language, right? They have a language barrier. So quite a few, but we can use only one. Although it's quite challenging to learn English, I believe it helps us find better job opportunities. It's a great structure, and you're going to get a lot of points for this because you use although, even though. Please don't use but. After that, no but. Okay, you can't say although it's challenging, but it's good. No, no but. Okay, although it's challenging, it's useful. This is right. Okay, although it's challenging, it is useful. Also, on the one hand, some people find it really challenging. On the other hand, it helps us find a better job. On the positive side, it gives you a lot of job opportunities. However, it takes a lot of time to learn. Now, if you are asked only about advantages, there are some questions only about advantages, you say 3. One of the main benefits is that you can find a better job. Another positive aspect is that you can easily travel around the world and communicate with foreigners. Not only that, but you can feel more confident overall because you are a more knowledgeable person. So this is it. Now I'm going to ask you some questions about advantages and disadvantages, and I want you to use these structures to answer them. Okay? Not from part 2 today, but let's talk about countryside. So, Sophie, what are the advantages and disadvantages of living in the countryside?
Well, I believe there are several benefits for living in the suburbs.
Hold on. Suburbs and countryside are completely different things. They are not the same. You cannot paraphrase. Say of living there. Living there. Mm-hmm.
There are several benefits for living there, like we can enjoy the life around with the good in the good environment. So it's help people to help people get to live healthier. However, um, there there are there may also have some bad points, like transportation is not convenient for people when they need moving, and the facility in the facility there is also not good at in the rural area.
Compare. Okay. Facilities, okay. Infrastructure, let's say public infrastructure isn't developed enough in the rural area. Repeat.
Transportation.
Public, let me write it down.
Yes.
Infrastructure. Infrastructure. I'm going to write it down, no worries. Public infrastructure.
Infrastructure is not developed, is
Enough.
not well, not developed compared to the rural area.
No, sorry, I said compared to because I didn't understand what you meant. Compared to a city. Compared to a city. Yeah, because where is infrastructure not developed? In rural areas, right? So we compare rural to urban, right? To cities. So compared to urban areas, compared to the city. But the fact that you could paraphrase in the countryside by saying in rural area is very good. Thank you, Sophie. Now, Ms. Mai. What are the disadvantages, only disadvantages, of sharing opinions on the internet? You can use these three structures, but replace advantages with disadvantages, positive with negative. Okay?
Sharing sharing the personality opinion.
Personal, please, Ms. Mai. The same mistake. Look, open the chat. I will explain again. You always say this word when you want to say personal. So personal. And every time you say personal, I hear personality. You see, personality is wrong because it is a noun, right? We need an adjective. Personal, personal. So sharing personal opinions, not sharing personality opinions, right? Sharing personal opinions. Okay, Ms. Mai, please come again.
Sharing personal opinion on the internet can have people present can have people present their idea in present their idea and sometimes build their brain their brain, but no however however sometimes they can get they can got the negative reflect from other, so it maybe aspect to the aspect to the writer.
Expect the writer.
Uh,
Express them right. Oh, the writer. Okay, the commenter. The commenter. Someone who comments is a commenter.
yes.
Comment, commenter, or commentator. Okay, great. Wonderful. Thank you, Ms. Mai. Daisy,
Yes.
now a question for you. So, what are the benefits of doing exercise, Daisy? Also, 3 structures. This, and this. One of the main advantages, another positive aspect, and not only that, but. So, Daisy, what are the benefits of doing exercise?
Yes. One of the main advantages is doing exercise is that one of the main advantage is that health, good health, good health. On the other hand, it help your full energy, full energy,
The next, continue. Another positive aspect.
And the other positive aspect, it help your full of energies for work, the daily life. Yes.
Not only that, but we need to finish with the structures. Not only that, but, and one more benefit. Not only that, but you can keep fit, strengthen your muscles, improve your heart, anything. So let me answer the same question, okay? But in a very simple way. Look, I asked you about benefits, good things about doing exercise, right? So what I need now is just 3 good things about exercise. No reasons, nothing. Just 3 good reasons, right? 3 good advantages, not reasons, sorry. So I say, one of the main advantages is that it can help you stay fit and healthy. Another positive aspect is that you can strengthen, make stronger your bones and muscles. Not only that, but it's really great for your heart, for your cardiovascular system, right? For your heart. This is it, right? 3 simple advantages. Divided it by 3 linking words, 3 structures. Because Daisy, what you did, you said 3 advantages after the first one. You said one of the main advantages and then you gave 3, right? This is the problem. If you just said something like small, for example, is that it can help you become stronger. Then the next one immediately, you say another positive thing is that you can get faster. And not only that, but you can become healthier, right? So these structures are here to boost your coherence, to boost your coherence score. And this is why they are so useful here, right? They don't really help you with ideas, but they help you with coherence. Okay, and as you guessed, now going to have this. All right, a very abstract question. I want you to describe something that has both advantages and disadvantages. You should say what it is, how you use or experience it, For example, learning English, exercise, driving a motorbike, right? Think about traveling. It's expensive, but it's enjoyable, right? What benefits and what problems it has. So basically, I want you to talk about advantages and disadvantages of something for 5 minutes, or for 5 minutes, for 2 minutes, sorry. No, 5 minutes, for 2 minutes, okay? I'll give you 2 minutes to prepare, okay? Okay, is anyone ready? Daisy, you'd like to be the first one?
Yes.
Please, go ahead.
I'd like to kick off by telling you about social media, which has both advantages and disadvantages. Social media is an online platform where people can share information and communicate with others. Popular social medias include Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I use social media every day, mainly on my phone. I use it chat with my family and friends and read news and watch social watch short video when I have free time. One of the main advantages is that it helps people stay connected. I can easily keep in touch with my family and friends, even if they are far away. Is it a good way to learn new things and get useful information quickly? However, social media also had disadvantages. People may spend too much. People may spend too much time on it, and become addicted. In addition, sharing personal information online can be risky because it may affect privacy. In conclusion, although social media is very useful daily life, it should be used carefully and in a balanced way.
Wonderful. Now let's quickly go through your answer. It was pretty good, actually. Very good, well-prepared answer. You had great introduction. So kick off. Just say with me, kick off. Kick off. Kick off, because I accidentally heard kick off or kick up. Kick up. I'm not sure. Maybe you said kick off, but I heard kick up. So, and then you use a non-relative clause about something which has both advantages and disadvantages. The only problem, Daisy, is that I would like you to paraphrase the question. Look at the question.
Yeah.
You repeated it, right? What does the question say? Take a look. It says advantages and disadvantages, right? Who were these words for?
First, benefit and drawback.
Drawbacks. So
Yeah.
I'd like to kick off by telling you about something which has both benefits and drawbacks.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, well done. That's correct. Now, let's continue. So, after that. So the beginning was good, apart from the paraphrase, right? Okay, next you say social media. This was your choice, right? So media is, so in this case, let's say, I would say instead, I'd like to keep about social media, which has both drawbacks and benefits. Both drawbacks and benefits. Don't repeat social media again. Say, for example, one of the main advantages of them is that people can, and then you share information and communication. So you can start by using this structure straight away, just immediately. Okay? So, and then it makes things even more structured. Okay, you described advantages, like you talked about TikTok, about using social media every day, right? What you use them for. That's okay, that's fine. And then you said one of the main advantages. So I just expected to hear this a bit earlier, right? And then you talked about disadvantages. You said, however, social media also have disadvantages, right? In this case, you already repeated the word social media too many times, and I would like you to paraphrase it. For example, social networking websites, social networking websites. You can write it down. Social networking websites. Or you could simply say they. They. However, they also have quite a few drawbacks, quite a few negative aspects, quite a few bad points. You use good connectors later, and your conclusion, although social media is very useful for daily life, they need to be used carefully. Great structure, but again, social media, right? But in terms of structure and coherence, it's a perfect answer. Okay, try to paraphrase more and you'll get good score. Thank you, Daisy. Yes. Who'd like to be the next one? Okay, Sophie, can I ask you to wait just for 30 seconds, okay? I will refill my cup with water and be back very quickly. Thank you. Okay, Sophie, please, you can start.
Well, I'd like to kick off by telling you about using the internet with having both positive and negative aspects. First, about its good points. One of the main benefits is that we can it helps us to looking for the information easily and then have our work more effectively. And another positive aspect is that another positive aspect is that it help people stay connected. Now we can connect people from all over the world in just a minute. And even we can see each other by talk via video call. And not only that, but we can even make friends easily from overseas. And we can also have to so our, our relationship can be easier and stronger by using with the thanks to the internet. however, there are still many bad points. First, it's make it's like time consuming if we cannot control the time we use it. We cannot manage it well. And then it's also a reason to make the distraction when we see many short video. It can reduce our focus or can reduce our focus and lastly, if we rely on the internet nowadays, people rely too much on the internet. I cannot imagine if someday without it, how happen. So in conclusion, there are many good point and bad point depend on how we use it. Depend on the way we use it.
Thanks for your
Depending
answers.
on.
Mhm.
Depending on. Yes.
Depending on, yes, that's right. So you'd like to kick off by telling about using the internet, which involves, right? Not involved, but involves both positive and negative aspects. So then you say first about the good point. So let's say let's start with good. Let's start. So you kind of suggest, you lead someone who listens to you, right? So that they follow. Let's start, not just first, but let's first start, or let's begin with positive, good points, right? One of them, you can say one of them, right? Is that we can look for information easily, right? Search information, compare different sources. Wonderful. But right after that, you say, and then have fun. I didn't really understand how these two things are connected. Search for information, have fun. So a little bit different, right? So maybe we can just
make friends.
Oh, make friends. Yeah, but like this is a different advantage, right? So again, look at the slide with the structures. We can use them three separately. One of the main advantages is that you can search for information easily and compare different sources. Another positive aspect is that like it's an infinite source of entertainment that you can use to have fun all the time. Not only that, but you can use social media to make new friends, right? And sometimes they last for your entire life. So instead of putting very, very different advantages in one sentence, it is a lot better to divide them, to separate them, right? To be more coherent. Because when we say in the same sentence, well, it's good because we can search for information and have fun, it's not really coherent, right? Because that's true, they're both advantages, but they're kind of very different in style, in meaning. Okay, but yeah, you said another positive aspect is like make you connect. They connect people from all over the world. So basically, you just put one structure, one advantage. One structure, one disadvantage. Let's use it as a rule, right? Don't use one structure for like 3 or 4, right? Because you use the structures, you use them very well. I just believe that there were too many advantages and disadvantages for one structure, right? Sometimes when they are not really connected much. Right. Our relationship can be easier and stronger thanks to the internet. Say with me. Thanks. Thanks to. Thanks to.
Thanks. Thank to.
Thanks to. No, you this is the problem. You say thank to, and I say thanks. Thanks to.
Thanks.
Yes, finally, that's right. So this word, like due to, thanks to must have s at the end. Otherwise, it has a different meaning, right? Still many platforms, it's time consuming. If we cannot control the time we use, we cannot manage it well, right? So then we just say it might be time consuming if we can't manage it. Just no need to say the sentence if we can't control the time, because the word it's time consuming already has this meaning. So it's time consuming unless we can manage it well. Unless is a great word to connect it here. Everything else was great. Thank you, Sophie. Well done. Good job. Now, Ms. Bai, you're the only one left. Please.
Nowadays, the AI is very developed. So I would like to tell you about the AI, especially ChatGPT with good point and pet points Um, um, the ChatGPT has a lot of benefits. One of the main benefits is if people um, have people deal with the work very quickly. It also can adapt in workplace on business. People can use, for example, um, uh, and for example, for teacher, they can use ChatGPT to make the PowerPoint, make the right the essay very quickly and have to explain for their student. However, however, it also have some backdraws. It make people become lazy to think. Pe they they depend on the AI tool and don't use and don't brain and don't think about the problem to do it. For instance, students just have homework and they just post the question on the ChatGPT and so then get the answer without thinking. Um, mm, so I think the people should learn how to use AI more useful or and intelligent to help them deal the work, but also develop the mindset. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Pretty good. You addressed a very, very, well, let's say, concerning issue, like that many people are worried about. One thing from what you just said is more useful. No, use it more responsibly. Use it more responsibly. You wanted to say more responsibly, right? If we use it responsibly, it becomes both useful and practical, right?
Can you write the word
Responsibly,
in-
for sure, yes. One moment. I have the script of your answer open, so use responsibly here. Use responsibly. Use responsibly. Okay, well done. So, more useful is not an adverb, right? More useful than what? So, usefully can be useful. No, responsibly is the best choice. Okay, back to the beginning of your answer now. Just a moment. So nowadays, AI is very developed. So I'd like to tell you about the AI. Repetition. AI, right? In one sentence, you used it twice. So I'd like to share my opinion about AI, which is quite developed today, for example. Or I'd like to start by telling you about AI, which is one of the most developed technologies these days. One of the most developed technology these days. Although it has numerous benefits, it still has quite a few drawbacks, or as you said, flaws, right? Flaws. It has quite a few drawbacks. Although it has numerous benefits, it still has quite a few flaws. So this is a good introduction, right? You said a few words, what you're going to talk about, why you chose this topic, and, well, basically you said that it has advantages and disadvantages, paraphrased, right? Good point, and say with me, bad, bad,
Bad.
bad, bad. So not like pet, but bad.
Bad.
Bad point. So one of the main benefits is have people deal with the welfare very quickly. Okay, you gave examples. You talked a lot about AI. You gave examples what can teachers use it for, how can students use it for, right? And you talked about responsible use of it, highlighting that irresponsible use of AI can lead to terrible consequences, right? And you said the phrase that I had thrown, don't use, don't bring, don't think about the problem to do it, right? Without thinking. Without thinking. So they use AI without thinking. They use AI without thinking. For example, when they do their homework, they just copy and paste ChatGPT's responses, right? So they do it without thinking. And then your conclusion, I could improve it. I'd love you to say, I wish. I wish people learned to use AI more responsibly, for example. I wish people learned to use AI more responsibly. Okay, so I wish is a great conclusion. It adds you grammar points and makes your answer a lot better. Thank you. Well done. Everyone did very well in part 2 today. So now for the rest of the lesson, for the next 10 minutes, let's answer very different part 3 questions from the forecast. Okay, just to, well, focus more on part 3 today. Now, please, Sophie. What kind of jobs require a lot of energy? What kind of jobs require a lot of energy?
Um, from my perspective, the job with many stressful, like
The jobs that many stressful, try better, try to paraphrase it.
the job that first the job with require much physical effort, need needs um, like work that like outside work, um, and second the about
Another
nurse.
example, say with me. Another example is that.
Another Another example is that working as a nurse also require needs a lot
Of physical energy.
of needs both physical and mental energy because they have to dealing with the patient and sometimes work in at night.
Shift. Have night shifts. Do
At night shift,
do night shift, for example.
and often do a night shift.
Do night shifts. Physically demanding is a good paraphrase for require physical energy. Jobs that are physically demanding, they require a lot of physical energy. Physically demanding jobs. Thank you, Sophie. Now, Daisy,
Yes.
do you think manual work will all be done by machines in the future? Do you think manual work will all be done by machines in the future? Manual work is physical work. For example, plumbers, construction workers, mechanics, what else? Ooh, don't have many ideas about examples because I don't work physically. Manual. Okay, factory workers, assembly line work, like
Yeah.
all these people who work with their hands, right? Manual work. Do you think that all manual work will be done by machines in the future? Truck drivers, also manual, kind of manual, right?
Yes.
So,
In my opinion, many jobs will will be done by machines. For example, gì nhỉ? Kế toán là gì nhỉ? Tự nhiên lại quên. Calculator.
Accountant.
Accountant.
Let me write it down. Accountant. Accountant is not manual. It isn't manual. Accountant is like mental thinking job, right? You work with numbers, your hands free. Okay, maybe you type, but it's not about manual, right? But carpenter, yes, for example, the person who works with wood, for example, this is, yeah.
Carpenter mộc.
Drive truck. Lại xe. Cái gì chắc là thầy hỏi các công việc nông nghiệp.
So, do you think they will be replaced or they will not be replaced by machines, by artificial intelligence, by robots? How do you think? I believe that actually manual jobs will last longer than intellectual jobs. For example, teachers will be replaced faster than carpenters. Well, because, well, carpenters, it involves a lot of like manual work, right? Okay, maybe they don't think very much, but they work a lot with hands, and robots are very expensive, right? And, well, mechanics that fix cars and motorbikes, also, they will not be replaced in the next 30 or 50 years. But while teachers and accountants, I think, have something to worry about, in my opinion, especially teachers. Okay, Daisy, thank you. Here's my question for you. Do you think there was more physical labor in the past than there is now? Do you think there was more physical labor now than there is now? Oh, sorry, there was more physical labor in the past than it is now. When did people work more manually? Now or in the past? Where do they work?
Mm. Uh, uh, I think the physical labor, nowadays the physical labor was less than the past because the technology very developed, so they can create many modern machine that can alternative the manual work, especially worker in factory, especially for dangerous work.
Dangerous.
Dangerous work. Yeah,
Dangerous.
dangerous work.
Okay. All right. Look, technology, like computers, the internet, they created more jobs that are intellectual. For example, IT workers, programmers, right? Online workers. Without technology, there were no jobs like this, right? No IT workers, for example. And well, that's why in the past people used to work more manually, right? Because they simply didn't have jobs. They didn't have so many jobs that require a lot of intellect, a lot of thinking, right? There were simply less intellectual jobs than we have today, right? There used to be fewer intellectual jobs than we have today. So obviously, this is the reason why people work more. You talked about machines replacing human workers, and that's why manual work has become less popular. True, fair enough. In the past, most people who lived in the city, they were factory workers, right? Today, machines do most of the work in factories. People are not that important anymore in this case in a factory. So thank you so much. Great answer. Good idea. Wonderful. So, all right. Thanks you a lot for joining today. And well, sorry for finishing a bit late and starting a bit late. So hope you enjoyed the lesson and found it useful and practical. I wish you all to have a nice day and see you very soon again. Goodbye.
Yes, yeah. Goodbye, teacher.
Great day ahead. Bye.